Two robots. Two completely different philosophies about what a humanoid machine should be. One was built for power, one was built for precision. And watching them side by side changes how you think about where this entire industry is heading. EngineAI unveiled the T800 in late 2024 as one of the most physically aggressive humanoid robots demonstrated publicly to that point. The machine stands 5'8" and weighs approximately 60 kilograms. It runs on an Nvidia Jetson Thor chip, delivering 2,000 TOPS of compute, which gives it the processing power to handle dynamic physical situations in real time, rather than executing pre-planned movement sequences. The price that stopped the room when it was announced was $25,000. For a humanoid robot capable of what the T800 demonstrates, that figure represented approximately 1/4 of what comparable machines from other manufacturers were selling for at the same time. EngineAI positioned it explicitly as an accessibility play, targeting universities, research facilities, and commercial operations that had previously been priced out of advanced humanoid robotics entirely. The materials reflect the performance priorities. The T800's limbs are constructed from magnesium alloy, which provides the combination of low weight and high structural rigidity that a robot designed to absorb and deliver significant physical force requires. Peak torque across its joints reaches 450 Newton meters. For context, that is the kind of force specification you build into a machine when the design brief includes high-impact demonstrations and stress tolerance rather than gentle domestic assistance. The demonstrations that brought the T800 to international attention were not the controlled laboratory sequences that most humanoid robot reveals used to manage risk. They were engineers pushing, kicking, and physically shoving the machine repeatedly while it maintained stability and recovered without intervention. What those demonstrations proved was not just that the T800 could absorb force. They proved that its recovery architecture was operating correctly under genuine stress. When a robot is pushed and it recovers, the recovery reveals the underlying control philosophy. The T800 does not recover by stopping, recalculating, and restarting. It recovers through continuous whole-body coordination that treats the destabilization as a real-time input to be compensated for, rather than an error state to be resolved. This is the technical distinction that separates a robot designed for physical stress environments from one designed for controlled task execution. Full-body coordination rather than isolated joint control means the machine treats its own body as an integrated dynamic system. When a kick lands or a shove arrives, the response is distributed across the entire kinematic chain rather than localized to the affected joint. For the applications EngineAI is targeting, security training, physical simulation, and demanding industrial environments where contact with the machine is an expected operational condition rather than an accident. This architecture is exactly what the brief requires. The martial arts demonstrations that generated the most coverage placed the T800 in a mock combat setup where its movement capabilities were visible in a format that communicates immediately to a non-technical audience. High-impact kicks, fast stance transitions, pivot movements that required continuous rebalancing. The sequences were choreographed, but the physical execution was real. The machine was performing movements that require the same dynamic stability under load that a combat demonstration from a human practitioner requires. The specific value of these demonstrations for EngineAI was not combat as a product application. It was proof of concept for the underlying control architecture. A robot that can execute a high-impact kick and recover immediately is a robot whose balance and stability systems are operating at a level that translates directly to usefulness in physical work environments. The kick is the test. The recovery is the result that matters. The combat demonstration format also communicates in a way that factory floor footage does not. Showing a robot moving boxes in a warehouse tells you it can move boxes. Showing a robot delivering a kick and recovering instantly tells you something about the fundamental quality of its stability and real-time control that is harder to demonstrate through task execution alone. EngineAI's development timeline has been rapid even by the accelerated standards of the current humanoid robotics landscape. The company was founded relatively recently, and the T800 represents a machine that went from early development to public demonstration at a speed that reflects both the availability of capable underlying hardware and a design philosophy focused on specific performance targets rather than general capability breadth. The Nvidia Jetson Thor compute platform that powers the T800 is the same class of hardware that underlies several of the most capable humanoid systems currently in development or deployment. The availability of high-performance embedded compute at accessible price points has compressed the development timeline for companies entering the humanoid space, allowing engineering teams to focus on mechanical design and control architecture rather than building custom compute infrastructure from scratch. The $25,000 price point suggests Engine AI made deliberate choices about what to include and what to exclude at this stage. The T800 is a capable and physically impressive machine at a price that opens access to buyers who would not consider a $100,000 alternative. The trade-off is that some of the broader capability stack that more expensive machines include is not part of the T800's initial specification. The Unitree G1 takes everything the T800 prioritizes and inverts the hierarchy. Unitree launched the G1 commercially, with pricing starting at approximately $13,500, making it among the most accessible, capable humanoid robots available. At just over 4 feet tall, it is significantly more compact than the T800, weighing approximately 35 kilograms, and built specifically for environments where the machine needs to navigate spaces designed for humans without the clearance advantages a larger machine might have. The G1's 16 industrial-grade joints each deliver approximately 95 Newton-meters of peak torque. The torque specification is lower than the T800's, which reflects the different design priority. The G1 is not built to absorb or deliver maximum force. It is built to execute movement sequences with the efficiency and consistency that long-duration task performance requires. What Unitree has optimized in the G1 is movement quality. The walking, running, crouching, and turning sequences the robot demonstrates are smooth to a degree that reflects deep investment in motion planning, real-time feedback control, and the kind of iterative refinement that only comes from extended experience developing legged robotic systems. Unitree has been building quadrupeds and bipedal systems for long enough that the motion intelligence in the G1 represents accumulated learning rather than a first attempt at the problem. The G1's movement demonstrations prioritize different qualities from the T800's combat sequences. Smooth transitions between gaits, efficient adaptation to surface changes, graceful recovery from instability that looks less like a machine correcting an error and more like a person regaining their footing naturally. The energy efficiency that comes from this movement quality has practical implications that extend beyond aesthetics. A robot that moves efficiently consumes less power per hour of operation. The G1's battery system supports more than 3 hours of continuous operation, which reflects both the battery capacity and the efficiency of the motion architecture it is executing against. A machine that fights its own momentum through every movement burns energy faster. A machine that flows through movement sequences with genuine coordination maintains operational duration. For the factory floor, the warehouse, and the human-occupied commercial environment that Unitree is targeting with the G1, movement quality and operational duration matter more than peak force output. You do not need a robot that can kick a sandbag through a wall to sort inventory or guide visitors through a facility. You need a robot that can navigate unpredictably arranged spaces, adapt to human movement around it, and keep working across a full shift. The G1's combat demonstrations, specifically the boxing matches staged between 2 G1 units at CES 2026, served a different communicative purpose from the T800's combat sequences, where the T800's demonstrations showed a single machine absorbing and recovering from externally applied force. The G1's sparring demonstrations showed 2 machines adapting to each other's movements in real time. The coordination required to execute a choreographed boxing match between 2 robots Maintaining bilateral awareness of position, movement, and timing across the sequence demonstrates motion planning and real-time adaptation capabilities that single machine demonstrations cannot show. The H2, Unitree's larger platform standing at 6 feet with 360 Newton-meters of joint torque, was also demonstrated at CES 2026, performing backward flips and striking sandbags. The H2 begins delivery with pricing starting near $13,500 and represents Unitree's higher capability offering for buyers who need both the movement quality the G1 demonstrates and higher force output for more demanding physical tasks. The comparison between the T800 and the G1 is ultimately a comparison between two different answers to the same question. What is a humanoid robot actually for? EngineAI's answer is that a humanoid robot needs to handle physical stress, absorb and deliver force, and maintain stability under conditions that would destabilize less robustly designed machines. The T800 at $25,000 makes that capability accessible to buyers who need it for specific high-demand applications. Unitree's answer is that a humanoid robot needs to move well, adapt to real environments, and operate consistently across extended durations. The G1 at $13,500 makes that capability accessible to buyers who need a machine that works reliably in the spaces where people already work. Both answers are correct for different problems. The more interesting question is what happens as both companies continue developing their platforms. The T800's control architecture is already sophisticated enough to execute complex dynamic movements. The G1's motion quality is already refined enough to navigate human environments naturally. As those trajectories continue, the machines that result from them will increasingly converge on a capability profile that combines physical robustness with movement intelligence. The current differentiation reflects where each company started and what they optimized for in their first-generation commercial products. What the existence of both machines confirms, more clearly than either one does individually, is that the humanoid robot era is not approaching. It is already here, being delivered to buyers, operating in real environments, and evolving at a pace that the next generation of both platforms will demonstrate clearly. Raw power, or movement intelligence. Right now, you have to choose. That choice probably will not exist for much longer.